So this is just a little short. What I'm gonna be doing now is replacing this throttle body. So boom, 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 and one here. Only thing I'm a little worried about is didn't come with a gasket, and that gasket looks kind of bad already. But let's get this changed out. All right, so I took the two bolts from the bottom out. I'm about to take these off, but I also wanted you guys to see there's a connector here that comes off, a connector here that comes off, and then there's one here and then there's one back there that comes off of this, and then this comes right off. So I'm gonna finish taking these bolts off because I already loosened them, and then we'll get to pulling the throttle body out. So old throttle body is out, new one's about to go in. So this is with the new throttle body on. Just got to tighten that up, plug the clips back in, the hoses at the bottom are in, all the bolts are tightened. And I just got to test out, well, program the new one. And then I'm done. Well, after I tighten this up. Just put this hose in and tighten this up. All right, and that's that. All right, so I already got started. As you can see, I removed all the panels and the bar, changing the spark plugs and coil packs. I went NGK as usual. So basically you take the bar off. These is connected to this here, and it's also connected to this and this. Then the bar comes up and it makes it a heck of a lot easier to get back here. I already took everything out and putting the new ones in, and I'll show you the process when I get to the front. So all this is gonna get wiped down and cleaned up so that it could look like something. So that's what's coming up now. I'm about to wash all this off, just spray it all down and then put it back in. All right, so I started cleaning this out a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks a little bit less. Those little crevices was hard to get. I'm gonna knock this side real quick. Bars back on and cleaned. Now I just gotta put the plastic panels on, and then I gotta knock out these front ones, and I'm done. Well, with the tune-up anyway. I did the throttle body earlier, as you can see, is new. The slave, the master's new, the braided clutch line. So I had to replace this because the guy had it dumping down to the bottom, and there's no fender liner. So during rainy weather, it's kind of dangerous. So yeah, just a little bit left. Once I take these out, I'll be able to clean here a little bit better. You see I started. So yeah, that's what's going on. I need another one of these. But yeah, it's coming along. The only reason why I'm not going to do my knock sensor is because last time I took this off, these gaskets were a little bad. Were like kind of, going bad. So I'm going to get new gaskets before I lift this back up. But that's the next thing, knock sensor. And then I got to change out all the O2s. And then the brakes. But I'm going to do the brakes first, then the O2s. All right. So let's put this back together. So right now I'm working on getting the spark plugs at the front. You see I cleaned it off a little bit more. So I'm almost done here. Let's see. And see if I get you to focus. Yeah, they look horrible, bro. So yeah, it's time for new ones. So almost done. And as you see, everything's nice and clean now. All right, so what I'm working on now is I have to get to the knock sensor, which is underneath here. So right now I'm pulling up all the bolts. We're gonna take this gasket out, copper spray it, let it set while I'm working, pull the whole intake up, change that knock sensor, and then put everything back on and put all the gaskets I'm gonna copper spray in the process. So as you see, I already started taking off some of the bolts. So let's get to it. So intake is out. This is what we're looking like right now. Gonna clean all this off and copper spray it. For now, just want to cover this up so nothing falls in. All right, so now the knock sensor sits Let me see. Can I get the focus? Sits right down here. Let me see if I turn on the light. Will it help? There we go. Yeah, you see it right there? That's the knock sensor. So we're about to pull that out. So I'm just gonna take the fuel rail, pull it up so that I can get more clearance, and then we'll get that knock sensor right out. All right, the old knock sensor is out. So now what I'm doing now is I'm putting the new one in. So the swivel, I just have to get it into the hole, screw it in, make sure it's tight before I pull it off. Because now the problem with these knock sensors is that it has a bad habit of breaking off on the tip. So that's why I put like a piece of cardboard or paper to keep it from moving. Once it's all the way in and tightened, then I'll pull it up. Usually it doesn't break if you do it that way. So cross your fingers with me, guys. Let's hope this is what's gonna happen. So knock sensors in, fuel rail is back on, my copper is sprayed. I cleaned everything down real good. So let's get everything put back together and crank her up and see what happens. So this is the finished product. Everything's back on. Everything's nice and clean. Runs fine.